Therefore there shall be a separation between you two, between the fair ones, responsible ones, and righteous ones, conscientious ones, and the unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones. This separation taking such a form that it is apparent through the characteristics of consideration, kind of thinking, attitude. Which attitude, mentality, you are the child of, yet irrespective of which attitude, mentality, you are the child of. Respect one another nevertheless, so that peace may prevail in you and with you, so that you create the firmament of your inner world consciousness, in goodness as you secretly hope it to be. And if you meet one another and your eyes meet, then keep the peace amongst one another, so that you do not kindle a fire of ruin between yourselves, and do not commit outrages on one another, or not acting with Gewalt. Truly, whether you are men or women who are attempting to reach heights of cognition and who recognize one another by the characteristics of your attitude, mentality, see to it that you are not arrogant, vain, but that you strive to it, that your effort, endeavor, to obtain cognition regarding the truth bears good fruit. And if you follow the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, then you do not have to swear false vows. Rather, you can show benevolence to yourselves, so that you create a paradise in yourselves, and no fear of non-right and no sorrow comes over you which you are unable to accept. Do not be inhabitants of reed in your firmament of your inner self-nature, in which a fire of erosion burns, so that you do not have to pour water, remorse, into the fire, so that you do not burn in your iniquity, unfairness, and non-righteousness, consciencelessness. Verily, you must protect yourselves against the fire of iniquity, unfairness, in you eating you up. But if you take the knowledge of the truth as a pastime and as a game, and allow yourselves to be seduced by mortal or earthly material life, then you are forgetting yourselves just as much as your unfolding evolution of your inner world consciousness, and therefore you are forgetting the primal creational compulsions in yourselves to live according to the truth, as you deny the signs, evidence, of the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation. And truly, the true prophets bring you the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, in which their knowledge and their wisdom are explained, so that you may have a guideline signposting leading thought from it, and you may gain benevolence, humanity, in yourselves, for yourselves and for people of your kind, fellow human beings, by accepting the teaching and understanding its explanations. Do not wait for the warnings of the true prophets to be fulfilled if they predict warning things of the time to come future, because on the day when the warning call of the prophets comes about, it will be too late. Do not be of the kind that, when the predictions are fulfilled, you are obliged to say that you had forgotten the prior warnings of the true prophets and had lent your ear to the false prophets, although in fact only the true prophets spoke the truth. Truly, if you do not listen to the predictions of the true prophets and they fulfill themselves, then you will find no intercessors, attorneys, because you have suggestively and forcefully brought about calamity on yourselves. And truly, when the predicted events come to pass, then you cannot turn back, win back time in order to undo everything, because it is through your foolishness, irrationality, which you cultivate, that you bring yourselves and the world to ruin, and everything that you present to yourselves as illusion, fantasies, regarding gods and tin gods and other senseless things, will leave you alone, let you down. See, the only thing above you is the wellspring of love creation, which created all firmaments, the universe, all lights in the sky, celestial bodies, and all earth worlds, planets, and it placed you, people of your kind, human beings, on the throne above everything, so that you shall be keepers, guardians, over the appearance, nature, over all firmaments, the universe, and over all earth worlds, planets, as well as over all kinds of life forms, both when the night conceals the day as well as when the day supersedes the night. And truly, as everything is integrated into the wellspring of love creation, the sun, the moon, and all earth worlds, planets, the lights in the firmament, celestial bodies in the sky, and all kinds of life forms, So everything is under your guardianship for you to take care of it and protect everything in accordance with right, law and recommendation, because you have the lone rule over it. And truly, you are your own influence dominance over yourselves. Therefore you shall uphold and honor it also, and not fall into submissiveness, and not pray to gods and tin gods, neither openly visibly, nor in concealment, because otherwise you are misdoers against the truth, which does not demand ask for any submissiveness or worship. And you are given the recommendation that you shall heed and honor the rules and regulations of the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, and shall not foment chaos on earth, so that you do not have to call out for hope and fright for regulation to come about on earth anew. See, the appearance nature, which was created through the power of the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, carries winds ahead of it as a joyful message when the weather will be good, and it carries heavy clouds when rain is coming, so that everything may thrive and the land be moistened if it is dry, and through the raining down of water, plants bring forth fruits of all kinds, and also the waters falling from the sky bring back secluded things, apparently dead things or withered things, back to life, just as also the spirit body, spirit form, will be reawakened, reborn, after the dying of people of your kind, human beings, together with a new individual being personality. In a new body may you be conscious of all this truth. And the good land lets plants and vegetation grow and brings forth fruits in abundance, always in accordance with the laws of the primal power creation, but of those plants and vegetation that are bad for the good plants and vegetation, they thrive, grow, only meagerly. Nevertheless you shall take care that they do not grow out of control and displace good plants and vegetation. Therefore pay heed to the signs of the appearance nature, so that you always do the right thing, so that you harvest good fruits and have sufficient provision food. And true prophets are sent to you from your midst, so that you may hear the truth in all things and live rightfully, and also cultivate, till and plant the land, so that you do not have to fear the misery of hunger, famine, but also be concerned that you do not have to suffer the misery of hunger, famine, if you breed a superfluity of descendants. Therefore you shall not multiply like vermin. If you do, however, breed too many descendants, then you are evidently acting in a mistaken way, because by doing so you invoke a calamity in great measure on yourselves, for your well-being, health, as well as for your world. And truly it is through your excessive descendants that you bring about great and worldwide battles, wars, and destruction, as well as hardship, misery, calamity and cataclysms in the extent of huge collapses, catastrophes, which you cannot set anything against. So you are helpless. Be certain, knowing that this will be the case if you do not do rightfully, because the true prophets do not foretell any falsities, because they are the ones who know the time to come future, and the time to come farther future, and the time to come after the time to come even farther future. And the true prophets bring to you the message of what they have fathomed and learned about the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, and what they have learned from their foresight into the time to come future, on the basis of which they give you sincere counsel, because they know many things that you do not know. Therefore, do not be surprised that admonishments come to you through the true prophets who have arisen out of your midst, that they warn you and admonish you to be righteous, conscientious, and fair, responsible, and compassionate towards people of your kind, fellow human beings, and for all kinds of life forms, for the appearance nature, and for your earth. Therefore, do not accuse the true prophets of falseness, deviousness, because they want to save you from your iniquity, unfairness, and unaccountability, consciencelessness, and virtuelessness, and truly they offer you an ark boat of rescue, so that you may not drown in evil, in your lovelessness and unfreedom bondage, but also in your dissonance, disharmony, and in unpeace, because you reject all signs, evidence, of the truth, and truly smite yourselves with blindness.